Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome to what used to be familiar territory on this channel, Spitfires. There was a time when it was pretty much the only thing I used to fly back in the P3D days, as well as the Mustang and the T6, but the Spitfire was my bread and butter and I knew it inside out. And then in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 I started to get the helicopter bug and also got a little bit more into GA, and certainly recently I've been spending so much time in helicopters I've neglected the Spitfire, but it still remains the aircraft closest to my heart and the one that I love to fly in the sim. And of course, hopefully we're not too far off Flying Iron releasing the new Spitfire, the Spitfire for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So and I'm sure it will have different behaviors and all that kind of good stuff, but it doesn't hurt for me to get some time back in the Spitfire and get back under the skin of it, get to know it in the way that I feel that I used to. This is a beautiful repaint by Ben Owen of G-ILDA SM520. This is how she looks now. Changed a couple of years ago. It's a tribute to a Battle of Britain Spitfire that actually flew from Goodwood when it was known as RAF Westhampton. And it's a fitting tribute, and she looks resplendent. A Mark 9 looking like a much older Spitfire, but she looks really cool. Anyway, we are here, as I say, at Goodwood. This is Echo Golf HR, EGHR. If you want to come along, we're on the Western Europe server. You are more than welcome to join in a warbird of your choice or anything that will keep up. And yeah, I think without further ado, let's get going. Good God, what is that? And so the immersion of warbirds was broken by a tube liner sitting on its tail. What is that? Let's have a look, see what it's meant to be. Let's get the right screen up. It's meant to be an A675. Okay. That's what happens when you don't buy every warbird aircraft under the sun. But such is life. Anyway, so let's get rid of the labels. Where are we? You may ask. We are here. So Goodwood, we're going to fly down here, fly along the coast, pay our respects to the Battle of Britain memorial over here at Capel Fern, and then the last point I put was Margate. We're going down the beach at Margate. From there, I don't know where we're going to go. It depends on the time and all that sort of thing. We might pop down to Biggin Hill, perhaps. I don't know. See how it works out. But that's it. It's a very relaxed, very chilled out Sunday morning flight. A chance for me to, as I said, get back in with the Spit and get to know her again. I should say this, confession time. I spent all blummin' night, it feels like last night, trying to fix my Goodwood. I had an issue with I had an issue with a stutter halfway down the runway if it was in certain directions, more kind of northerly and westerly. Right where you got to the point about the windsock, there would be a pause, and then it would let you go again. And landing and taking off was a real pain in the neck. That's been going on for me since 2020, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And I've tried all sorts of things to fix it. And last night, in a fit of insomnia, I thought, to hell with it. I'm going to find out what the problem is. And if anyone out there is having the same issue, try this. It was a France VFR scenery. Nord-West was the one that was causing me the problem, but I know that Shortway's in the Discord. Yes, we have a Discord. There is a link down below in the description, but also let me just pop it in the chat as well. It's been a while since I've had to do this because Streamlabs is usually pretty good at keeping up. There we go. If I can just spell Discord correctly, that would be a good start. Yeah, Shortways tested with his and found a similar thing with a similar pack, not the same pack, but one of the France VFR ones. So there's obviously an object that causes a bit of a conflict. And I've touched wood, I've fixed it. I did loads of testing last night, got a cracking headache as a result now. But I'm hoping that when I take off, we are going to have no issues at all. And I'm going to use runway 32 because that's the one that I was having most issues with. This of course is Burning Blue design scenery for Goodwood, and having been here a few times and been on this side of the fence as well, it takes you back. The bus isn't there anymore. They got rid of that or sold it, but and there is actually G-ILDA as she would have looked a few years ago. That's more like what she looked like when I flew in her, the old green and grey. Okay, right. Let's get into flying mode. Hey, okay. So just sort out my. Oh, by the way, if you could tell me in the chat if the sounds get too noisy of aircraft against my voice or vice versa, please do let me know. The stream is currently on a helicopter mix, and these old warbirds are a lot noisier than my H145. So if it gets a bit tricky to hear me and you actually want to hear me, then do let me know. Okay, so quickly remember, yep, there we go, that's the one I want. Handle there takes it on and off the latch, that spring there pings it all the way open, must remember that. Didier, yes, Spitfire is good, thank you. Guy, I've noticed your comment there. In a break from traditional streams, yes, it's incorrectly orientated if you are a helicopter engineer. If you are a warbird pilot, it's in just the right place, mate. Just the right place. I'm not emotional about being back in the Spitfire. You are. Right, okay. Let's concentrate. So, mixture, prop, crack the throttle. That's where it should be there. That's all good. I am going to select that for the time being, just in case. Now, one of the features with the 2020 Spit is that there's no animation on the pump, on the fuel pump, manual pump. So believe me, I am clicking that and you should see the fuel pressure warning light go out. If we keep clicking, no it won't because you didn't open the fuel cock. God, you are rusty. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I'll give it another few. Just because you're streaming doesn't mean that you can't concentrate on what you're doing. Right, okay, so that's all good, that's all set up. We have got some fuel pressure, fuel is on now that I've remembered that. Let's now get mags on. Everything here is where it should be, and let's go for, I'm going to give her 10. 1, 2, 3, oh actually no, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just remembered I got wimp weather on because the weather here today is so blooming awful, so it's not quite as cold. There we go. There we go, she's alive. Let's lock the primer, close that, get the fuel pump on. Ugh, there we go. And we are all good to go. Okay, so because we're on wimp weather, I don't need to change the altimeter setting. So that is absolutely fine. In the chat, can you do me a favour? Can you just let me know if the sound mix is okay? And that you can still hear me waffling on, droning on, and also hear the beautiful sounds of the Spitfire. Just checking my head tracking is working. Yeah, that's all good. Sometimes that needs a bit of a kick. Okay, so cheers Guy, much appreciated mate. Whoa! Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Blummin' controllers. So my Bravo is on the wrong. I just released the parking brake, and my Bravo is on the wrong. You little monkey, come here. Working fix, there we go. So I took the parking brake off and it shut my engine down. Right, let's just have a quick check that everything is where it should be after that. Yeah. Okay, all good. Okay, let's get going before we boil the engine. So, quick check, parking brake off, roller forward, check the brakes, brakes good. Anything under the nose, I can see a shadow. There's a Spitfire just in front with one of those famous trailing pilots. We seem to have those at the moment with some of the FlyingIron 2020 aircraft, but hopefully that'll be fixed for the 2024. Okay, that pilot may well end up getting run over, because I don't think that Spitfire is moving. Okay, this is a bit like a Top Gear challenge this. Let's see if we can just steer around. Just missed. Oh, decapitated. Say goodbye to Spitfires.com. It's been so long since I've really flown at Goodwood, really, because of the issues that I was having with the with this stutter. And I am hoping, after all the work I put in last night, really hoping that it has actually fixed it. I did loads of testing, but you know what it's like. You leave the sim for 5 minutes and you come back and something's different. Okay, I'm just gonna... There's our runway, but I just want to do a quick mag check, just to give some semblance of professionalism. Okay, let's go. That's good, let's cycle the prop. That's all good. Okay, let's line up. Now, I remember a very long and tedious discussion on my old Discord about what elevator trim setting you should have for takeoff in the Spit. The BBMF actually use nose up. The FlyingIron manual says nose down, and talking to one of the Spitfires.com pilots, he uses nose down, so I'm going to use nose down. Some people like nose up, but there we go. Stick back to the right, just check everything is where it should be. That's so good, so let's go. Whoa! Right, here's the stutter. Is it going to come? No stutter! Woohoo! Now, let's close the canopy. Oh, let's remember it's that one and then that one. Why did the aircraft tip like that? The aircraft tipped like that because I had too much power on compared to my usual takeoff, and I didn't have my stick in the right position. Oh, that's a nice sound. What was that? Very throaty roar coming from somewhere. I can't tell you just how good it is to have a Goodwood that I can use again. Goodwood and Duxford are my two favourite places to fly Spits out of. Goodwood was where I flew in G-ILDA in real life. Sorry, Duxford was where I flew in real life. And then Goodwood is obviously where she's based and where I've been a few times, so it's always nice to see it. It's a lovely little spot. Right, let's come back on the power. It's amazing how spending time away from the Spit, you forget some really basic things, like coming back on the RPM pretty much as soon as you take off. Right, I'm just doing another test, see if we get that awful pause. That would have happened round about the cross section of the runway here. No. Excellent. We're all good. We're all good. Okay, let's head to the coast. Alpha Indigo, how are you doing? Good to see you. Sparky, good to see you too. Oh, it's not Sparky, it's Dread. Bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va? This will make you laugh, Dread. I don't know if you caught the beginning, but I was having scenery issues with my Goodwood scenery. There was a awful kind of long pause every time I got round about the midsection of the runway in certain directions, and I spent ages last night trying to figure out what it could be in the sim. And do you know what it ended up being? A France VFR pack. So French VFR scenery was affecting Goodwood over here on Angleterre. Quelle surprise! Right, just the other thing of course I need to do, which I'm really looking forward to, is I've got some really nice authenticate stuff. I've got the throttle quadrant and I've also got the trim combo, and I'm going to get those set up again. My computer died last year and I had to start from scratch again, and there's a few things you need to do to get the authenticate stuff working that I haven't got round to yet, so I'm going to get that sorted out. Ah, Dread, that's interesting you say that. Interesting. And the irony is, the reason why it took me so long to get there is because the last thing I thought would cause a problem in the sim would be you know, scenery in France. But there's obviously an object in the France VFR packs that are causing a conflict with Goodwood. It's obviously called Goodwood calls for an object that perhaps has the same name or something like that. But yeah. So yeah, as I said, we're on wimp weather today. The weather in the UK yesterday was gorgeous, blue skies. Today it is horrible. So back to wimp weather, just so we can have a nice look at it. There's Elmer down there. Oh, we're coming up on Bailiff's Court. I've never looked at Bailiff's Court on the sim. Came here a long time ago, and it was a really nice hotel in the country, and it's got its own helipad according to the map. There you go, that's a lovely spot. Really nice. I was there for a meeting, so never actually got to enjoy the surroundings. Certainly didn't realise how close it was to the beach. Okay, let's stabilise everything. Let's have a look outside. Oh, look at that, Hurricane and Spitfire. That's what I could hear. That's what I could hear. The I have got, obviously I've got it because I can see it. I have got the Aeroplane Heaven Hurricane, but I must confess I don't really fly it. Oh my lord, would you look at that? But the sound is exquisite and it looks great. Look at that. Sorry, whoever that is. Let's get the name up if I can. Get the button without... It's Guy! Guy! Dude! You make out you can't fly these things with the prop in the wrong place, but you're bloody good. That's some really good flying there. And not helped by the fact that I'm bouncing about in the sky because I'm busy looking at you. There he goes. There's Guy. Look at that. Wonderful. Akutai, hello, how are you? Christopher, I don't, because very simply, mate, I use the AB, the Andrew Bennett presets. I don't use a weather preset. I just use live weather, or like I've got an MSFS preset in now. But I use his Atmos and Enviro presets, and that's all I've got in there. And they look really nice. God, that was lovely. There's another Spit. So where are we? That's Worthing Pier down there. I'm just adjusting the map. Sorry for the guys who are following. I wonder if I've got my Orbex Shoreham in. Can't remember if I loaded that in. Right, quick check of everything. Let's come back on the RPM a little bit. I can put the radiator back into auto now. But everything is looking just fine. Alpha Indigo, ditch to Discord, I like my data. Did you find it was causing issues for you? I am just going to have a quick look at Shoreham to see if I've got... I don't think that doesn't look like the Orbex scenery. Or maybe it is actually. I've not flown out of Shoreham in a long time, so I don't even know if I bothered to load it in. That looks... actually, no, I think I have got the Orbex scenery in there. Have a quick look at that. Yeah, it looks like I have, doesn't it? You've got that very distinctive tower building. Okay, Alpha, understood. Understood. Oh, going into a bit of cloud there. Just when I wanted to see, yeah, I must have the Orbex in. Lovely tower building here at Shoreham. Very distinctive. Let's get out of the cloud. Always very conscious when I'm flying multiplayer that there might be people actually doing some serious flying, so the last thing I want to do is get in someone's way, but nice to see it. Must do some flying from there. The new stuff coming in. What's the new stuff coming in? Have I missed something? Is it new rules and regs or something? Oh, okay, right, yeah. You have to prove your identity or something, don't you, now? It's quite an interesting little detail there. Okay, let's just... so we're coming up, this is Brighton. So we'll come down a bit lower, we'll give a fly past along Brighton Beach. Scary how realistic this sim can be sometimes with the scenery. Someone posted on a video yesterday something about it's a shame that Asobo ruined the scenery in this sim, but I actually think it's certainly a lot better than P3D. Look, there's even objects and things down on the beach. Amazing. It's been a long time since I've been here. Good God, it wasn't like that last time I was here. So Dread, what would you use instead of Discord? Interesting to know. There we are, the start of the White Cliffs. Interesting building there. One of the great things about this sim, because of the scenery, is that you can fly along and see some really interesting things. And I was just trying to, yeah, couldn't really tell from the map what that was. Didn't seem to be anything obvious marked on there. Look at that guy. You're a secret warbird pilot. Guy works for Historic Helicopters, and if you watch the streams where I'm flying helicopters, especially the H145, you know who they are. And he's a helicopter engineer, and he says he can't fly warbirds, but Guy, this is recorded evidence that you can fly warbirds. So we'll have none of that. Very nicely kept. Okay, coming up on New Haven here. I think there's meant to be a fort there. Let's have a quick look at that. If I can line it up correctly, see if we can actually see a fort. I can see something. You never quite know what you're going to get. No, I think we've just got a collection of oh yeah, you can kind of see, okay, I can see the fort in the photogrammetry now, and then we've got some autogen plonked around it. So it's not quite what we would expect. Look at that. Elliptical wing. What is nicer than looking down at the ground over an elliptical wing? Am I biased? Yes. 100%. Okay, let's continue. Ah, that's interesting, Alpha. That's interesting. So am I right in thinking that the big problem is the fact that Discord are going to start asking people to verify their identity so that there's some kind of age verification? I do find Discord very useful, I must say, and I hadn't really given the changes much thought, but interesting that it's going to be an issue for people. DJ Stevic would love to fly formation like this in the sim. Why don't you? Have you got the sim, or is that the problem that you haven't got the sim to fly in, or it's just not something that you've done? Okay, coming up. Beachy Head. Buzz the lighthouse. good. DJ, we're here. We're here, come and fly with us. Simple as that. I don't know if you are on Discord, but the channel does have a Discord, and every now and again we do group flights, or like today, just doing a stream, but I'm on multiplayer so people can come along. So yeah, you're always welcome to join. The scenery detail, insane. It does look a little bit like the apocalypse if you look a bit too closely, but that is still pretty amazing. And I'm really noticing actually how Atmos does seem to make it more realistic. This is Eastbourne. Guy, I'm never going to believe you again. Look at that. That's bloody good flying, mate. Can't fly warbirds. Crazy scenery. That is mad how detailed that is. I do love how this sim still has the ability to surprise me with how good it can be. We're getting a bit of mesh popping along the coastline there, but otherwise the buildings and everything, amazing. Oh, someone talking about the scenery. What's this? Calypsos. I can confirm that disabling... What? Let's concentrate on the flying boy. Now you can read. I can confirm that disabling France VFR southwest, in my case, gets rid of the dreaded Goodwood stutter. Yeah, fantastic. So it's proved it. So all those hours I spent last night, one by one, removing things from my community folder, trying to find what it is. Not for 1 minute thinking it would be somewhere in blooming France, and right at the end, literally after, God, I must have been at it for about 3 hours, I take the France VFR files out and the stutter's gone, and there you go. It's really interesting that other people are seeing the same. Wonderful. What's this? Bexhill. We're now just passing by. Quick run along the beach. Quick check of the instruments. Everything's looking good. Blame France, Dread says. Okay, so we're coming up St Leonard's and also coming up Hastings. Of course, the famous Battle of Hastings, not to be confused with the Battle of Goodwood, but both involving French elements. There's one for you, Dread. Only when Edson is not here. Oh, okay, so it's just age verified to access age controlled channels. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've got age controlled channels on mine, if I'm honest. It's not that kind of Discord where I need to worry too much about age verification. One just has some rather robust moderation going on to weed out anything that's slightly naughty. So maybe that won't be so much of an issue. So I wonder if that, and I have to be very careful what I say, I suppose, I wonder if that is in line with the other things that have been going on in the UK with age verification. Perhaps because there is content on Discord, perhaps it's enforcing that side of it. And I hardly think that pictures of helicopters and warbirds and GA aircraft are anything that the UK government needs to worry about. I won't be warping any minds with that. Okay, Dread, I have no idea who they are, I must admit. Persona I think I've heard of actually. But yeah, not sure about the other. So where are we now? Coming up on Lid, or we should be if I've got the map wound out correctly. This is another Burning Blue design airfield that I have not been to in a long time. Let's have a look at that. We've got Dungeness power station. So we'll just toot along the coast, or rather cut this corner a little bit. Wow, Dread, was it? I had no idea. Good God. Oh, just look at that. It will be so nice to fly the new Spit and not have that issue of the pilot trailing behind. For some reason it only seems to happen in flying iron aircraft. Let's while I remember, because I'd noticed it before, let's get the tabletto up, and now that we're in the air we can unhide the pilot. I had it hidden for when we were on the ground. There's the power station. Of course, you get in an awful lot of trouble doing this in real life because it's a nuclear power station. Not really meant to fly aircrafts like this, but we'll take a closer look. It always amazes me how barren this area is. I mean, it kind of makes sense to park a nuclear power station here. Thank you, Morgan, thank you for subscribing, much appreciated. Good to have you on board. Look at it, it's like something out of a movie set, isn't it? So let's have a quick look at Burning Blue's Lid, because as I say, I loaded it in, but I've not been here in a long time. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, there's no one flying here. Okay. Just trying to remember to do that so I don't screw up someone's flight. tower. There we go. Look at you guy down there, you Mr. I Can't Fly Warbirds, holding that formation. Oh lovely, look. Spit going over the top. This is what it's about. I love helicopters, but sometimes you have to get back in the Warbirds and remember just how beautiful they are. Great fun to fly, but great fun to see other aircraft up there as well. Right, quick check of everything. There we go. DJ, what head tracking do you use? I use the Grass Monkey King Puck. I used to use TrackIR for years. I had 2 of them. And then when my TrackIR started breaking down, I happened to watch Edson on Sky Lounge TV, as it was called back then. And he was talking about this Grass Monkey head tracking thing, which I'd never heard of, and talking about how good it was. And it's quite a bit cheaper than TrackIR. It's a guy in the US who 3D prints them and assembles them with the components and everything. And do you know what? It's been absolutely brilliant. It's a lot more sensitive than the TrackIR was. And it uses OpenTrack software with, and it comes with some profiles and that sort of thing. But it's a brilliant piece of kit, and I actually went out and got the Tobii eye tracker last year. Yeah, it was last year, because I thought, this seems to be the new tech. I'm going to give it a try. Just coming up on Hive, and I just didn't like it. Couldn't get on with it. It didn't feel as accurate. It's maybe down to my setup, because I've got a big TV screen that I use as my main monitor, and I'm sitting a fair distance away from it, so I ended up buying the tripod to mount the Tobii sensor on. Still wasn't as good. It just wasn't picking up the head tracking in the same way that this kind of thing does. And to be honest, I don't mind sitting here with a thing stuck to my headset. It's cordless, so there's no extra cord, so my wireless headset works really well with it. I've got no cables coming down, and it's so precise. It's really cool. Angels, no, this is the Mark 9. I don't fly the Mark 1. I've never enjoyed flying the Mark 1 that's available in this sim. The A2A Mark 1 in P3D was an absolute joy. But yeah, I've tried. Oh, there's a ship. Right, so we're coming up on the memorial here, so I will shut up for 1 minute or so. You'll be pleased to know. There you go, lovely memorial on the ground down there. Okay, so we will now head to Dover. Alpha, oh no! Which one have you got? I have a feeling that you were one of the ones in the old Discord that I was chatting to about getting an OLED, and it was thanks to you I ended up getting this one. You and a couple of others recommended the same one. And of course there's the famous Port of Dover. Let's have a look at the castle. Some nice detail there. Really nice detail. I guess that must be the Orbex POI pack thing going on. Right, let's just do a quick fuel check. Okay, we're okay. Which makes me think of that scene in, or the scenes in Dunkirk. I feel like I need to get a piece of chalk out. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Alpha. Okay, yeah, I think that's the one I got. I got the 42-inch, and it's worked really well for me. The thing that I only remembered this yesterday, actually, is that I never have HDR on these days because there was an issue with it when trying to record for videos. So I kind of leave it off now, but I was thinking yesterday I should, for when I'm not making videos, I should put the HDR back on. So I seem to remember it was pretty good. There he is, Mr. I Can't Fly Warbirds. Look at you, guy. Look at you. Not only can you wield a spanner in a very demonstrative way at a helicopter, you can fly blooming warbirds. Beautiful. Sorry, that's me screwing it up. And there's the Spit. Wonderful. Look at that. How gorgeous. So we just come around the coast here, head up to Margate. And no, we won't be having Chaz and Dave karaoke. Hello, we're about to get bounced. It's a P-51. Who's that? That's just one ping only. Where's he gone? Just on. How lovely. Love the P-51. It's like a broken record. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I just wish. Oh, God. I just wish A2A would bring their P-51 to this sim. Thanks to Randall, we've got a really good modded Asobo P-51, and also with the Echo 19 sound pack. It is a thing of beauty, and if you've seen the videos on the channel with it, or you've got it yourself, or you've seen other videos, you know what I'm talking about. Alpha, you're absolutely right. He has got skills. Alright, that's it for the P51 chat, okay? I can't help it. Manston over there. Once a very renowned RAF base. Just doing a quick fuel check. Okay. It's very easy to get carried away flying these warbirds and forget that you need fuel. Fuel is rather important. And I've noticed a rather worrying fuel range ring on my little nav map, which is shrinking at a fast rate. So I can only think that something isn't quite right with how that's set up, but. Something to bear in mind. I mean, I'm just doing a nice easy cruise here. I've got the boost just on about +1, RPMs at 2000, so it's not even a fast cruise really. Aquatai, what's the name of the P51 mod? It's Randall Snow. If you go on to flightsim.to and look up the developer Randall Snow, you'll see it listed. It's really good. And it works really well. It also works with the Aeroplane Heaven P51, but and do you know what? It's personal preference. It really is personal preference. I prefer it with the Asobo one, and along with the Echo 19 sound pack, it's quite incredible. Right, let's have a think. Let's have a wee think. I am a little bit tempted to go to Headcorn rather than Biggin. Let's have a quick look. Have I got that loaded in my scenery? I bet I haven't. No, it's one of the few Burning Blue design sceneries I haven't loaded in. What a plonker. Right, quick check of fuel again. I think that range ring is very wrong. Okay, so we're going to yeah, we'll head to Biggin and see how far we get. As long as I don't do anything silly with power, we should be alright. Famous last words. When your pilot says, yeah, we should be alright, that's when you need to worry. Oh, you got your gaming PC, cool. You'll be modding before you know. I'm a little bit I'm a little bit careful with how much I mod, but some things you have to mod, and he's also done a really good one for the T6 as well. That is well worth checking out. That is beautiful. Let's just oh wow, look at that. Hurricane and P51 and a Spit, yes, and look at that, another Hurricane. Good God. Of course, what's making it extremely difficult for these guys is that I am one of the hardest things with formation flying is having a formation leader who is flying in a consistent, smooth, straight, at a level pattern. And as soon as I start looking around and gawping at these guys, I'm probably all over the place. So how wonderful. This is what warbird flying is about. Those people that say, oh, what's the point? What's the point? You can't shoot anything down. This is what it's about. Flying an aircraft that requires some practice and skill, and then when you get to fly it with other people as well. This is what it's about. Wonderful. So that's interesting. So my my Spitfire performance on my little nav map is now saying I'm out of fuel. Not quite sure why. It's getting a little bit unnerving, but I think we'll be all right. Just going to keep it at this level. Certainly won't have much room to mess around. If I've got Rochester loaded in, I don't think I've got Rochester either. That's another burning blue. Let's have a look. Pardon me while I look in my folder. No. No, I don't. It's an absolute crime I haven't got headcorn loaded in. That's a lovely little strip. I should definitely have that in there. Leaning a little bit, ever so slightly. We're not really that high, but it's going to do anything. I don't even know if that will have much of an effect, to be honest. I seem to remember in the old, it's either auto rich or auto lean, isn't it? Let's see what happens. Whoa! Yeah, that was going to cut the engine. We don't want that. Robert, how are you doing? Good to see you. Cheers, Alpha. Have a good one. Good to see you. Just going to maintain this height. Coming in over the Thames estuary. Is it? I say that. Oh, we're near the Thames estuary. Yeah, great numpty. Shows how rare it is I come over this neck of the woods. We're too far south for that. Screen selected there, just tried to put the labels on. There we go. Hello everyone. Oh, it's really nice to see some familiar names there. I did not realise there were so many people up here. Wow, good God. Amazing. Good to see you all. I tend to not fly with labels on because it kills the immersion a little bit, but it's always good to give a shout out to the people that are up here and coming along. That is wonderful. Oh, bit of a pause there. A little bit of a stutter. I am actually I'm using a little tool, and I will remember to put it in the video link down below. Let me just get up the details. I've been testing it for a couple of weeks, just really giving it a try, and I'm not really a techie guy, which probably won't come as much of a surprise hearing me waffling on, but a guy called Uwe, also known as Shark on Discord, has put together a little piece of software called VR Flight Simulator Auto Optimizer, but you can also use it 2D as well, but it's really good for VR flying. Basically it does everything for you. You can customize which bits and bobs you want it to close down, but essentially you kind of choose which simulator you're flying. It's MSFS or DC World or X-Plane, and then it will kill background apps. It will put the computer into high performance mode, if you like, flush DNS and services, and then it will launch the sim for you. And then it optimizes in the game. It boosts CPU and priority, and it gives you max VR performance if you're using VR. And I have to say, it works really well for me, and it's free. And huge shout out to Yui Shark. He's done a grand job. So yeah, I'll put a link to that file below, just while I once I've finished the flying, so you can actually check it out. But I think it's a really useful little thing. So just flying over Rochester now. There's the Thames over there. Get your geography right. Not that there, that over there. Honestly. So we are not far now. We're not far. Let's get the piece of chalk out again. Getting low. Hello. Bit of a pause again. Oh, I guess it's loading in London, isn't it? We're close enough to London now that it's going to start loading in some London scenery. So, could this be a Deadstick landing? Let's hope not. There's nothing clever about doing a Deadstick landing. It just shows, well, piss poor preparation, really. No other way of saying it. So, wind is 4 knots from 26. What are you doing? 2671 where we are now. So I'm going to take runway 21. And I'm not going to hang about due to our fuel status. That's me getting paranoid, but I swear the engine just grumbled a little bit. You can see my speed is quite slow, only doing 160 knots. Let's keep an eye on the temperature. The Spit doesn't like flying slow, but I am just being ever so careful with my throttle. Okay, let's go. Right, that's fully rich, that's fine. Just leaving a bit of height, just in case. Just in case we need it. Probably about, I don't know, 8-9 miles out. There's the chaps. They're thinking, hang on a minute, we're getting out of here. If he's about to run out of fuel because he was too stupid to check his fuel state. I dumped the slipper tanks, and I don't think I filled up the main internal, which is why it's getting a bit slow, but that's okay. Let's keep it rocking. Nothing to worry about here. Good God. Co-pilot cat just decided to jump on my lap. It gave me the fright of my life. Sweetheart, now is not the time. Now is not the time. We're about to do... Oh my lord. We are about to potentially do a Deadstick landing in Kent. And you are getting in the way. There you go. Okay, let's... Oh my lord, this is going to be a Deadstick. Now I could do the sensible thing and do some air-to-air refueling, but yeah. Calypso, yes, I wasn't. There we go. I wasn't really high enough. Okay. Let's chalk this one up as a training exercise. That's the engine now complaining because we're about to run out of fuel. Just be careful of the speed. Yeah, I'm not going to get another bean out of it. I'm just going to try and go for a bit more height. Not going to get much out of it at this speed, but there we go. Okay. Let's keep it going. Doesn't feel like we're going to make it, if I'm honest. Doesn't feel like we're going to make it, so I'm going to... Yeah. We're going to come down in this field. Right, let's dump the gear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Biggin Hill. Oh, it is a bumpy field. Good God! The farmer must have just ploughed it. I'm having to really work at this. Okay, there we go. Freshly ploughed field. Of course, the more observant amongst you would have said you should have not landed across the plough trenches. You should have landed with them. Yes. but we didn't have much choice. But there we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's what it's about. The sound of my squadron mates checking that I'm all right, boys. I'm all right. Don't you worry. Everything's okay. We will live to fly another day. Oh, do you know what? That's what I love about this sim. Sometimes you just end up in a situation that you didn't expect to be in, and it throws a curveball at you, and you have to do something about it. And that was no exception. I thoroughly enjoyed that, as much as it came about by my stupidity, because I should have, when I dumped the slipper tank, I should have just upped my mains. Nice. So I've only got myself to blame for that, but that was good fun. Just to practice a deadstick landing, but I didn't. How wonderful. Anyway, so yeah, as I say, welcome to Biggin Hill. As you can see, it's a lot more rustic than you might have expected it to be. Got a nice stately home over there. That's the old officers' mess, of course. And here we are. Farmer Giles is about to come out with a shotgun. Hello. That was quiet. Farmer Giles is about to come out with a shotgun and ask me what the hell I'm doing in his field. Anyway, look, thank you for watching the stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks to all the guys who came up flying as well. It's been a real pleasure flying with other warbirds. Let's just quickly turn the labels back on so that we can have a look at you. I didn't realise we had a Lancaster with us as well. Look at that. Whole bunch of people. Hello, we got another. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for everyone who's joined in the air as well. It's great having you along. Always great fun flying with other warbirds. And what can I say? Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't forget the Discord. Streamlabs has been putting a link to that into the chat, but there is a link to it down below as well. So yeah, come along and say hello. And in the meantime, I'll stop waffling. You can get on with your Sundays. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.